Yeah, well said. I know I can sense your ambition in terms of what universities could look like, and I think it's really cool to think about. As you said, the physical dimension is completely ignored. No one ever comes up when it's your level of fitness is never assessed at university, and I think that would be really cool and beneficial to society if everyone was healthier. Healthcare costs would go down, and it would just be a pro for society. Before I move on, I realized that I didn't. You reminded me that I didn't finish my point about the networking. Just, if anyone's currently in high school and they're applying to university, this might apply to you. So I would just share it. If you're looking to use university as a networking experience, I think that's great, and I think part of university is about the networking. And but I think it's important to always just keep in mind the demographic of the people in your university. And usually, what you're gonna find is that when you get there, you're gonna have to put in a lot more work to find people who have similar ambitions as you, or who are just ambitious in general. And so just keep that in mind. Is it's not gonna be hard. Everyone around you is usually not going to be very hardworking, disciplined, ambitious people. You're gonna find some crackheads, and you're gonna find some people just smoking weed in their dorm room all day, and it's unfortunate, but that's the reality. And yeah, just keep that in mind. So, so we've covered universities and their
Can I just
yeah
comment
yeah
on that?
go for it.
I think yeah. I mean that does fit squarely into the story, into this discussion. There's a reason why there's a lot of escapism and a lot of let's say uh, dysfunctional distraction in
Yeah,
all its forms and shapes and sizes. There's something about humans, you can't take evolution out of a human. We're evolving. The impulse is there. The if you just imagine the Big Bang started, and that is going to continue just expanding. And the question though is, will will you let evolution flow in a functional way, otherwise it will come out in a dysfunctional way, right? So you've got to imagine this evolutionary impulse is like the water from the municipality. It's coming. It's coming into your apartment. It's coming to your home. The question is, are your pipes all tangled up? Are you ready, for the flow, or is it leaking? And do you have, drainage here and leaks and floods and things like that? Or have you prepared yourself so that energy, that evolution impulse flows in the right way? So if you imagine, we're talking about university, but if you've been through these systems for, 10 years, 13, 14 years, the frustration, remember in the last discussion, this thing about pushing down what you'd really like to do in order to sit through these classes and just memorize and regurgitate and memorize and regurgitate and not understand what's the point. Many people deal with that by just saying, okay, I'm going to have to go through that, and let me numb myself outside of those four walls to be able to cope. Otherwise, I'll go crazy. Gabor Mate has a really nice statement around. He dealt with addictions, all forms of addictions, but including hardcore ones. And one of the techniques he recommends for detaching from addictions, because they're very hard to detach from. It's not a question of knowing. Most people know they'd like to. It's how do you actually do it? And for him, the first step is recognize what that addiction was helping with. Be grateful for what it was that it helped you avoid. So if you were a cocaine addict, maybe your life was so difficult, the trauma was so hard that this prevented you from committing suicide. So thank you, cocaine, for preventing me from committing suicide, or maybe it prevented you from hurting or others or doing, and that's so every form of these distractions usually has a reason. And I think when it comes to students, when you're bombarded with all this, these 8 hours a day through elementary school, middle school, high school, into university, no purpose. It's just this mind-numbing, most of the time, experience. The attraction to then forgetting about it and escaping it is very, very high. Especially at a period when you want to, of course, connect with others. And there's nothing wrong with partying and having fun, but there is a difference when you are using it as a tool to escape the fact that you're not happy with what's happening. So if you're not doing anything about that, then that's what this is serving. And the other way, the more functional way, is to actually look at that and try to do something about it, which is what all this whole discussion is about. And then, of course, distraction, fun, escapism is a part of our lives. It's a way of, changing our thoughts, taking a break, but coming back to something, taking a break, taking a holiday to refresh your thoughts. My mom had this beautiful expression that marked me a lot when I was young. And she would say, I take a vacation, and you can see this in any entrepreneur. The relationship with vacations and with tools and gadgets is always in relation to, they help me do, I have a purpose, I love what I do, I have a passion, and these things help me do those things better. So I take a vacation, and she would say, I'd come back from vacation and I've got dozens of new ideas, by stepping away from the school and from work and taking that break. She would come back refreshed, or she's got this, I want to buy this really special pen or this iPad, because they help me, express and run my projects better. And that's an entrepreneur, someone who uses those tools with awareness to help something that they're doing. And I think a lot of these students are suffering from just this terrible system, and then having to numb themselves until hopefully more of them figure out that that's not going to go anywhere.